Welcome to Make It Happen Monday, my weekly dose of healthy inspiration. Today I want to talk about a very renowned category of vegetables that you all need to be making sure you include in your diet. Ideally, a serving of one of these vegetables each and every day. And that would be the cruciferous vegetables. You see that word up on the slide, up on cruciferous up there on the screen. So it's a huge family of vegetables. I'm going to name all the different ones because certainly there's some in here you love. Broccoli, cabbage, collards, kale, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, watercress, turnip and mustard greens, arugula, bok choy, radish, and horseradish, and Brussels sprouts. Of course, broccoli and then Brussels sprouts. So what makes cruciferous vegetables so special? And I'll tell you, as a category of vegetables, they have the top spot. They have the most proven disease protective power of any other family of vegetables. They're noted for their cancer protection. I mean, amazing for cancer protection, breast cancer particularly, prostate cancer, but really about 7 or 8 additional cancers. Cardiovascular protection, brain protection, protecting us from cognitive decline, boosting our brain power, and metabolic protection. That means weight control, that means less diabetes, that means less metabolic syndrome. So what makes this family of vegetables so dazzling, frankly? Lots of different things. First of all, they're super low in calories. They're an example, all those are non-starchy, so they're, the more you eat them, the leaner you're going to be. There's like no calories in them. You don't have to count those calories. So low in calories, they all have fiber. I'm not going to go into the fiber thing, but it's like probably the most important nutrient you could eat. Tons of vitamins and minerals, just like almost like a multivitamin, each one of them. Really what launches them up into this wondrous realm is that they have a high concentration of a unique phytochemical called sulforaphane. Sulforaphane, look at that word up on the screen. You should be familiar with it. It has lots of claims to its fame. The first one is that it was the first phytochemical we ever discovered in Mother Nature's arsenal. Phytochemicals are produced in plants to protect plants from various environmental insults. And the first one was just discovered about 35 years ago, and it was sulforaphane. And I actually remember very, very vividly, because I've been interested in nutrition my entire life, and my father, who was then a practicing surgeon, called me and said, "Oh, Ann, have you heard they discovered a cancer-fighting substance in broccoli?" I said, "No," and I remember him telling me about it real excitingly, or maybe that's not the right word. Anyway, and he said, "Oh, they can't believe it. They put it right in the test tube with breast cancer cells, and the breast cancer cells immediately die." Well, that was sulforaphane. And since then, it has been documented to do all sorts of things. I mean, it literally is kind of like a wonder drug, at least in the test tube or in the petri dish. And so what do we know about this one particular phytochemical? We know it has anti-cancer properties, antimicrobial properties, very, very important. Think about the coronavirus that is looming, anti-diabetic properties, antioxidant properties, anti-inflammatory properties, neuroprotective properties, anti-aging properties, detoxifying properties. Pretty amazing, pretty amazing. Those are all the documented, published data on those features of sulforaphane. Now, one thing interesting to know about sulforaphane, this is important, is that it does not come pre-formed in these vegetables. What happens is, after they are chopped or crushed or chewed, when we do that, we are liberating an enzyme called myrosinase. We're liberating it from the cell wall of the plant and allowing it to come into contact with sulforaphane's precursor. And so myrosinase activates sulforaphane. Now, one thing you need to know is myrosinase will be denatured by heat. It is rendered inactive. So if you're going to cook these vegetables, and you chop them, and then you're going to expose them to heat right away, you're not going to have hardly any sulforaphane form. So you say, well, what do I do? First of all, you can eat many of those in their raw form. You can. Think about cabbage and radishes and some of the greens I mentioned. There's ways to eat them in the raw form, but if you want to cook them, you have several options. Option one is to chop it and let it rest for 40 minutes. And then you can cook it. So after 40 minutes, you're going to have all the sulforaphane is possible that can form. And sulforaphane itself is heat stable. So chop or crush or whatever you're going to do, or slice, and let it sit for 40 minutes. And if that seems too prolonged or tedious, or like I can't do that, you can buy some of these things pre-chopped. You can get broccoli coleslaw. You can get, there are things you can. Or you can get these things, broccoli comes pre-chopped in big bags from Costco. So that's an option. Perhaps the easiest one, I think, is to add some morosinase after cooking. You say, well, how do I do that? Mustard powder is going to be the quickest, easiest way. You can buy powdered mustard right on the spice aisle, and mustard is from mustard seed. Remember, mustard greens, which come from mustard seeds, contain this morosinase. So there's a lot in mustard powder, and you just do a quick sprinkle. It doesn't take a lot. It just takes a little bit. Put that on whatever the cruciferous vegetable is that you've cooked that you want to activate that sulforaphane. Or you could add some horseradish-based dressing or sauce. Sometimes I love adding horseradish to salad dressings and other kind of sauces I make, and that is another known activator. Again, it doesn't take a lot. Wasabi will also do it. And again, it's not like you have to do a ton. Or another option would be, I just thought of this one, you could add like a little bit of grated red cabbage or green cabbage. Red cabbage is a beautiful, almost like color and garnish, and you can, what do you call it? Shave in some or chop in some red cabbage and add, sprinkle it on top of your cooked cruciferous vegetables. Anyway, the point is there's lots of different ways to take it in its activated form. And if you knew what I knew, you would all absolutely make a point of including at least one serving of a cruciferous vegetable in your diet each and every day. I mean, that is a real simple and highly valuable thing to do. Look back at the list. If you want to rewind and look at that big list, we listed them off, and we actually put the list on the screen so you could see that. So I also want to remind you, speaking of cruciferous vegetables, we've just filmed and produced our Boost Your Immunity e-course. One of the reasons I'm putting that out is because I think, now more than ever, with the coronavirus looming large, people need to know there's absolutely steps they can take through diet and lifestyle to shore up, increase, keep their immune system working at its prime. And I cover all those in that short mini e-course. I'm pretty sure it's going to be it is under an hour, and I'm actually going to do something I've never done before. I'm going to make this mini e-course available for 2 days for free. And the way you're going to know about when it's released is because you've signed up to be a member of my community, which you could do right on my website. Click the sign up button. So if you've got family or friends or coworkers that you think may want to know about when that mini e-course is coming out so they can jump in the first couple of days for free, then please share with them how to sign up for join my community and just sign up for these Make It Happen Monday video tips. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next week. And remember, to see the full list of those cruciferous vegetables, just look into the body of the email in which you received this Make It Happen Monday video tip. Thank you.